if things ever need to be navigated, and that she should be the moderator. And I completely agree, actually, that this group does need a moderator. And so I was thinking of getting her that moderator status, which I think you can do in groups. I've never had a moderator before. It's just been kind of free flowing, free going. But yeah, we're going to do that.
Well, I vote aye.
Sweet. Good. Yeah.
Yeah, not so much a moderator of the group itself, but more like just for this, like the open mic, because I am regularly here. And I can usually be here on time, even early.
Cool. It's all cool until I do something wrong.
Yeah, it's mainly just for you. We just need
that makes
someone
sense.
to.
Hey, give me some credit for being a Hellraiser.
Yeah, and Alex Horizon. God damn it. I'm just playing.
Sorry for all the distractions and whatnot. I'm scrambling here. I got 2 kids by myself, man.
Oh yeah, jeez.
Yeah, my wife went out. She went out tonight with the gals, so I'm here. Just put the other one to sleep. The other one's knocked out, so we'll see what happens tonight. Hopefully, I get to really, hang out with you guys for a good amount of time.
Cool. That's cool.
Yep. We got some new faces today, man.
Yes. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, this is your first time, Scotland.
Oh well, Elk's been here.
I've been
right?
here once before, I think.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I lurk, so I don't talk much.
I see.
That's cool. Lurking is cool.
I always look at everyone sideways. You can tell from my avatar.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that avatar.
Where? Yeah, man.
It's a pity I can't get it to spin.
Oh, that'll be dope. Probably got to hit up like Rush or one of them to do that. Russia Waves or maybe censorship. I don't know, one of those dudes.
Yeah, one of them. They do those GIFs, those animated.
I'm sure they can make some, tweak some up.
Maybe I'll look into that.
Word. You do that. That'd be cool. Be hypnotizing people and shit.
It's funny you should mention that.
Is that the objective?
Well, no, not for this group, but there was another one begging me to hypnotize them because I happen to have some talents in that regard anyway.
Ooh, cool. That's dope. Yeah, my wife, I was looking to do some of that for my wife when I like hypnotherapy for like the pregnancy and whatnot. So I mean I'm familiar with it in that respect.
Honestly, that's kind of a new field for me.
Oh, it's a great field, I guess. So, some Doctor Strange. We probably talking here with Doctor Strange over here in the cup, man.
Well, if you knew how much magic I practiced, you'd probably be a little nervous.
Well, my wife is into the occult somewhat, so I'm somewhat associated with it. So,
excellent. You shouldn't mind anything tonight.
It's cool. I got my patchouli in the background and shit.
Just patchouli.
Patchouli.
Where's your Palo Santo?
But yeah, I got it there too. I got the sage. I'm ready, man. I'm ready to make
Sage is nothing. Actually, you know what I use sage for? I make a tea because it specifically kills strep bacteria.
Sage? I didn't even know you could use
Yeah.
that for tea.
Yeah, it's in the
Wow.
cooking section.
I mean,
You get
okay.
really vivid
Eat it like
dreams if you
lamb.
drink sage tea.
What?
You get
Really?
what?
Really?
Try
Really
that.
vivid dreams if you
That's
drink
what I
the
like.
sage
Huh.
Of course, Satori. I know you've tried that before. I know you've
tea.
tried
Yeah.
that. Satori would be the one.
All I know is that in long-term studies, it actually helps to prevent dementia.
What, sage?
Sage.
Yep.
What the fuck?
That's interesting.
Oh, I got that. Oh,
But
shit.
yeah,
I didn't even know. Wow,
I wonder what geographic region uses sage the most in their cooking and whether their dementia rates are lower.
Wow,
That would be cool, wouldn't it?
that's crazy. Speaking about herbs, I've been drinking some nettle leaves. I've been doing that for allergies and shit like that. I did like an infusion. So
Too much nettles.
oh really? You don't do the weeds?
No, just don't do too much of it. Be careful anytime you're using herbs and whatnot, because it is medicine.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's the
Targeting the system that you want it to target, because like different things do different, things.
right.
Wasn't very articulate of me. So like, I wouldn't take sage for UTI, but it could, in some ways, help with that kind of bacteria, because of the properties. So you want to make sure that whatever you're taking, you understand the properties and which bodily system it works best on. Antibiotics are the same way. Some antibiotics work better in the throat and in the sinuses and that sort of thing, and other antibiotics work better in the blood. And so there's different ones that do different things. It's the same thing with herbs.
Okay, wow. Damn. Yeah, I definitely gotta. I mean, I'm a lot more open for error with natural herbs than with pharmaceutical drugs. So you know what I'm saying? I'll take that with a grain of sage.
It'll significantly less of a side effect if you do something wrong.
Facts.
Body can restore to homeostasis much more readily if you're not taking any sort of medications and putting chemicals into your body.
Right, exactly, totally.
Yeah.
There's only one I'm planning to experiment with, and that's Schisandra chinensis.
Oh, you're gonna have to explain that. That's a drug, like a drug, like a pharmaceutical drug.
No. This is a 3,000-year-old tree wrapping root from China.
What?
Yep.
And what's
It's
the,
a Taoist thing. You
knowledge?
wouldn't understand.
Oh yeah. No, listen, you definitely yeah. That was a fair judgment. I definitely don't. No idea. What's the
I'm
benefit?
curious.
Of that?
It's a really fascinating one. From the research I've done, it looks like a sedative relaxant that doubles as a stimulant nootropic.
Can you spell it for me?
Yeah, let me just copy that one.
I told you we talking to Dr. Strange over here, yo.
All right, here you go. Ashley Mack would love this too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just go ahead. Go ahead and try and pronounce that. That's real fun.
Nah, I'm good.
Cassandra chinensis.
Chinensis. Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta come up with a street slang for that one.
I mean, it's just Latin. Just give it to the real name. Don't call it by the Latin name.
When I see it and see what it looks like, I'm gonna give it like a nickname. Like, yo, that's just that's that Long Branch or some shit.
Ancient root.
Hey, there it is. That's that ancient root, man. Oh shit.
There you go. A whole roll down on it.
God damn.
5 flavor berry.
Damn, so you can't go foraging for this shit. God damn.
Not in North America, that's for damn sure.
From shade with moist, well-drained soil. Is it tropical?
I got
Oh,
that
no.
sense.
Cold. Russian Far East.
Well, I'm not sure if it's coastal or not.
Northern China, Russian Far East.
While we're on the topic
Geographic there.
of herbs and things of that nature, yo, Papa,
What up?
what's up? While we're on the topic of like herbs and shit like that, I got the perfect joint for this. Whenever you guys want to go to that.
Frosted Rose. Hello?
It's the Red Scare over there, dude. What's your back? What's up with your background?
Yeah, it's that.
Are you going to Frosted Rose? Are you going to read that girl's poem?
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you. I hope. What's his name? There does a video of it. She's really going to like that. It's all about blessing people, right?
So, is she able to join in?
I just tagged her. She said she would. I don't know. But,
I mean, I tagged her too, like 15 minutes before.
cool.
Yeah,
She, whoops.
you know, it's morning there, so.
Yeah, time zone is that's pretty fucked up sometimes.
Yeah,
Good, eh? Look at you, beautiful people. Wow.
but I mean, I'm not
Wow.
time zone, but I'm on a different time schedule since I get up so early.
Are you talking about Zoraya? That's what you talking about?
Yeah,
Oh, she's fucking awesome, man.
yeah.
She is, eh?
Oh, she's dope. Hell yeah, word.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if she could make it. Yeah, she's dope. Plus, we do need some more estrogen up in this place. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying I don't got enough.
Rose is gonna get all jealous because she's the chick
Oh,
of
shit.
the chick of the group chick or whatever.
Oh shit. That's that Fight Club gonna come out of her, yo.
There we go.
Oh shit.
Good luck being
Well, we could
that
make them fight each
smile.
other and take bets.
Oh shit. We should get. I don't know. We should get a little some of that.
She's got $1 million smile. eh?
You talking about Rose?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Rose with the $1 million smile.
$1 million smile. She knows it too, right? Yeah.
Yo, so while we're on this herbs topic, let me share this one with y'all real quick, just to break the ice. All right. Matter of fact, I'm gonna post it down right, if that's okay. All right, hold on. All right, boom, copy. It's gonna be right here on the right for you guys. Paste, send. All right.
Whoa. Just like that.
Yeah, just like that. All right, so it's called Nature's Breath. All right. If you guys could just mute for a second, I hear somebody in the background, like some feedback. That's perfect. That's perfect. So Nature's Breath. Pungent aroma, coma-inducing odor infusion to enhance your senses. Perfume that needs no permission to trigger your neurons into flaring like neon lights. Incense to be in coordination with daily meditation, yet some scents are associated with insubordination. Far-ranging fragrances as far as the nostrils can distinguish. Herbs with superb aroma, smells that extinguish the distance between perception, yet the savory strain fuels misconception. Flowers with odors of dominion. Need no license to carry a trace, yet a scent so innocent can administer detention. The botanist finds leisure in aromatherapy, while the criminal rots in a cell for a scent that has been nurtured by nature's ever-mutable breath? What authority has jurisdiction to quench what society labels a stench? Open your eyes, for your snout is clenched. Embrace nurture's fragrance, for her pheromones activate your hormones. No matter the strain, the herb, the grain is ingrained in natural stimulation. Organic incubation is not to be equated with pollution, for there is nothing artificial about nature's breath. That's it, guys.
Gorgeous.
Nice.
Gorgeous.
Thank you, guys.
It's
I thought it was fitting.
yeah, I like I don't often read poems that are about scent. It's kind of a neglected sense, in a lot of art, and it's hard to make art in it about it. And yeah, it put me in definitely an interesting kind of place, for sure, because it's such a strong such a strong sense too. It can smells that extinguish the distance between perception. I like stuff like that, because you're also getting into this kind of like interiority,
Right,
which is very, very interesting.
Totally.
Fun fact,
Go for it.
it's the one that is most closely associated to memory.
Yeah. I was just gonna say that how smell or sense anchors memory.
Interesting. Wow.
And you can purposely remember things by, like, if you're studying at the same location with the same smells and the same everything, and then to bring something with you on test day or whatever that has that same smell.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I actually took a course in
Yeah.
like memory, and they mentioned that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
thing.
Yeah. No, that's
It's critical in meditation and hypnosis as well.
Right.
Dope.
Right, and that's training yourself to a smell or a sound or whatever that causes an instant reaction. I mean, we're all just
Makes sense.
on-off, switch thing.
See, that's why I love this group, because you
Binary.
write something. Yeah, you write something, and it's just like you didn't really think that far into it, and people just extrapolate. Like, here you go. This is my viewpoint. But real quick background, like I wrote this because I live in one of my best friends his basement, and he's from Pakistan, so he's of Muslim background, and like they live with most of their family and whatnot, and he was really kind enough to let me live in his basement. So anyway, his family is Muslim, so we smoke a lot in my household, and they had complained about that one. No, matter of fact, I'm lying. One time, I was just burning some herbs, just some sage or something like that, and they were like, "Yo, they're smoking weed downstairs," and I was like, "Nah, it's just sage. Like, y'all never smelled sage before," and that kind of had brought about the process to write this poem, where I'm looking at it from the sense of just like, hey, it's just a scent from a natural herb. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand, if people don't want to smell certain scents, but you can't withhold it, or withdraw it from doing what it naturally does. You know what I'm saying? So that's really where it came out from. So glad I got to share with you guys.
Sweet. Yeah, you know what? I was also thinking that the criminal rots in the cell for a scent that has been nurtured by nature's ever mutable breath. You said open your eyes, for your snout is clenched, and that was such an interesting way to like render like a closed-mindedness. And I think what's interesting to me about like that kind of closed-mindedness is like scent. For us, I mean, animals rely so much more on scent than we do. Like scent is almost kind of this forgotten sense that we don't rely on anymore. And it's like this kind of closed, over like massive amounts of like evolutionary time anyway, that sense is closed compared to like
I don't
dogs.
think it's that.
What's that?
I don't think that evolution is what has changed our scent. I think it's the the cleaning products we're using and the constant pollution that we're smelling, and it's actually
Oh yeah.
the receptors in our noses so that we're no longer relying.
It goes back further than that, actually. If you want to
Yeah.
really know when that started, as soon as the second agrarian revolution occurred and we had stagnant lifestyles in the cities, who wants to smell crap all day? I mean, come on. That
living
shift
in
really
cities
started.
just destroys us. We're not meant. We're meant to move around, and I don't know.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
you're
for
right.
sure.
You're right. I mean, our bodies are still ultimately optimized for hunter-gatherer conditions, so it's really weird.
I still remember what kindergarten smells like. I still remember what my first girl smells like. Like, seriously. Smell is a very strong.
I don't think you ever forget things like that, though. That first, the first smell, the first sounds, the first thing. Like I went through a pretty intense reprogramming of my mind, repatterning the trauma, and sometimes I feel like I'm experiencing things like for the first time, like a child all over again. Just because I've had so many negative experiences that in order to reprogram them, you have to have some very ridiculously positive ones. At the same time, those positive things are happening, your brain is thinking of all the terrible ways that that has gone before, and you have to tell your brain, no, just this moment, just right now, that's it, that's all I'm gonna focus on. And so I wonder, like, because smell is such a strong thing and we have so many things that are killing our receptors, how do we restore those receptors in our body to receive the senses, the stimulation of our environment in a positive way, and be able to put that back out,
Leave the city.
Shit.
Seriously, I mean, that's the easiest
Fly me to
answer.
Puerto Rico. Who wants to fly me?
They teach us how to take care of our bodies, but they don't teach us how to take care of our emotions. You know what I mean?
Right. Emotional intelligence is very low nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very low.
Yeah, that's the IQ that we don't count. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, back in the 80s, I think it was, Gardner was the one that came up with the 9 intelligence, I think. And if we actually focused on that more than the IQ or whatever, we might be able to actually evolve the current thinking on intelligence itself in a way that could create aptitude scores with children at like birth and help filter them into the best school for them, and not so much just, this school, this will work.
Right.
And allocate resources in a way that's going to even out in a positive manner, and produce better children, better adults, better, workforce, better communities. All of that is affected by the children. I'm ranting.
It's a good rant.
Put my mute on.
No, it was almost poetic. It was warbling. I would call it.
I mean, that is poetic, though. I mean, that's poetic expression, is just speaking these thoughts.
Yeah.
It's like,
so much of my time is rambling. So it's always good to hear someone else ramble and just sit back and shut the fuck up. Like, that's what I do most of the time. So it was good to, like, really sit back and listen to you guys in general. So,
It's never easier to divorce yourself from your ego than when someone else is talking.
There's that wisdom, dude.
It's amazing how much of the stuff that goes on in our head is just rambling, eh? It's frightening, man.
fuck. Yeah.
That's what I said. Fuck. That's what I'm saying. Fuck.
I was wondering
I was
what was
stretching.
going on.
Visit my channel. That's kind of what I
Oh,
specialize
it
in.
feels so good.
Ah.
All right. Mute my mic.
Hey, if you guys don't sign up to my giveaway, I'm leaving the group.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit. That's pressure right there.
Yeah.
Nah, dude. I think I did it once. I'm definitely gonna do it again. I should do it more often.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to what is it? Troll the group badly. Give it a bad name if you don't sign up to my giveaway. That
There goes my
guy,
reputation.
I tell you, he touched me. Oh, God.
Oh man.
He touched me. I'm hungover, guys. Fuck, I drank 12 big beers yesterday. Smoked 2 grams of pot.
Damn.
I'm still high, man.
Oh, we'll sober you up.
Or maybe not.
I'm going to mute and go lay down and just listen because, like, wow, I'm like, oh, I'm beside myself. I'm wasted.
enjoy while you listen on.
Yeah.
That's awful. Wait, why do you keep track of like how? Because I totally like lose track of that shit all the time. I just pack my bowl until I don't feel like it anymore. Like, how do you?
Well, I have a little joint left. I'm going to smoke that and go lay down and listen to you guys. I hope you guys.
What is the point, silly?
I hope you guys are alive tonight.
Oh,
Me, make my evening.
Hey, Satori, you want to do the thing?
Okay. Are
Yeah.
you ready?
Are we starting
There
or
we
are
go.
you?
Yeah, go.
Oh boy. I'm going to mute.
I have nothing off of my phone. You want me to start?
Yeah, aren't you going to start it off?
Oh yeah. No holds barred poetic expression, improv session, make a lasting impression. Who's ready to go? Tonight, we're gonna flow. This is that stream of caution, aspire, light it all aglow. Poetic Fight Club, come on now, what do you know? We're making something epic. Life is our art and we are the creators.
Epic doesn't even begin to explain it. Are you ready to let everything go? They say there's no sleep for the wicked, but it only seems like the wicked can rest their heads in beds, while the angel-headed hipsters wander the street looking for an angry fix. Everybody's wondering about clicks, selfies of hot chicks, dodging dick pics, the hollow existence that we all picked. But as I rendered this last video, I can't help but see what other possibilities are out there for those who dare to care, stare into the abyss, and feel the beauty of death and rebirth.
Breathe. Another step. I'm so close to the end. Just keep moving. Another moment. The pain still lingers. The ache remains. I'm so damn moody, trying to hold on to my thoughts, bite my tongue, fighting battles I've already won within myself. The virus ravaging my cells, past parallels. I thought as a society way to overcome the stigmatization of disease. Instead, we've diminished the urgency of the mystery which is killing me and the curiosity which doesn't exist to wonder what is this? As it spreads rampant without a test to identify the rest of those who carry the mark, only half will know the name, the others call it another of the same syndrome, like a from how it destroys my sense of well-being backwards and forwards and back, and the odds are stacked in the favor of none, and the end, we're all done, finished, dead. Fuck, there's no hope left to live for except, perhaps, another kiss, one more breath. Hold me now. I'm 6 feet from the edge and I'm slipping, feet dangling over the abyss, death and rebirth and ego death again until there's nothing left and all I have is pain, pleasure, on, off, and you, me, us becomes ash under the lava flow, the volcano aglow, plunging it all into a darkness. We are the lighthouses. We care for each other, we take care of each other, and I care for you. Truly I do. You got anything else, Satori?
just about sense and smell, how they anchor memory of a past of herbal misadventures, and how we all commune on this disembodied digital landscape, and how we can't smell each other, and how we can't touch each other, but yet we hear each other. And it
Yeah,
remains.
like an imaginary friend.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I see how that, it's good. It's great that I put the that poem out to begin with, because it's great to see how, we're obviously on that same frequency, on that same wavelength,
Yeah.
and it almost seemed like synchronistic. Like that was pretty cool.
Yeah, you know how much cooler it'd be if you were on Slack with us doing, double dutch on the
Oh man.
from like Tuesday to Tuesday,
I would love to. And I
From
remember
Tuesday to Tuesday. We have to throw that in double dutch.
Well, I mean, we work on it all week,
We'll be double dutching all week.
You'll be tired by the time you get here.
Word.
Yeah, because I'll still have all my poems.
Yeah,
Tuesday, bloody Tuesday. No, that's not how it goes.
All right.
Yeah, I definitely got to try it one day. I'd love to say I did it, at the very least, for one time, because
Yeah.
it's what you guys do is really awesome. So it'll be nice to actually contribute to that, because that's really cool. It's one of the highlights of this page, of this gathering. So that's cool. I got you. I'll take you on it.
Yeah.
My soul
Anyone
is being
else?
stirred.
Anyone else smoking pot?
Yep, I'm there with
Rose
you.
just smoked
Yes.
pot before she did the double dutch.
I saw her. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So that's three of us. Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Nice.
When you hold the bowl and then you go off screen, I think we all know.
Hey, do you know who Pete the Cat is?
Oh,
Do you know who Pete the Cat is, PA?
Got Beavis and Butthead in the crew.
No, Pete the Cat, yo.
Pete the Cat.
Pete the Cat. You gotta look it up. So my brother
Pete the Cat.
is Goober, and for Christmas he gave me a Pete the Cat doll
I gotta look it up now.
because he says I look like it.
Oh shit.
feed the cat.
He was like, "It's a stupid cat. I thought you'd like it."
Pete
That
the cat?
that definitely has a sexual undertone. Feed the cat.
The cat is not sexual whatsoever. It's a
It has a sexual undertone for sure.
no. He's a stoner.
Yeah, he's like this blue cat.
Feed the cat. Okay.
Yeah, he said it looked
He's
like
like-
me, and then I opened the tag. It says something about being a hippie.
Pete the Cat. I'm seeing it right now. Yeah,
The
it's
magic
just like a
dragon
show.
has overcome.
You guys are too much, man.
I'm seeing it.
That's good pot. Did you see that video? The black guy, he's on YouTube. He's smoking a joint and he's crying. It's so good, man.
I've seen that
It's
one.
so good. He's crying. He's weeping. Oh man, he's puffing. I'm gonna.
Oh,
I'm
dear
gonna go
God, I
find
do
it.
believe I've seen that.
It's hilarious. Oh my god, I'm gonna go find it.
Oh shit.
So,
Now's the time.
does anyone else have a poem?
Yeah, I got
Yes.
one.
Ooh, yes. Let's go. Let's do it.
Okay. So this one's called an ode to spam.
Ooh, nice.
No,
Can you put it? Can you
no.
put it on the right? Can you put it on the right? If you.
Okay, yeah. I'll post it right now.
By the way, good job, Miss Moderator.
Clutch. hell? Is that my mic fucking up?
Yes, your mic is on.
Oh shit, my bad.
I have a mute button on my headset, and I'm not sure if I have it pressed or not sometimes, so I feel you.
Okay, sorry about that. The link's in the side. Okay, an ode to spam. Oh, spam, no ham I am. But in the third grade, I ate green eggs and ham, and I thought it was the best thing ever. And now I can't eat green eggs and ham without strange memories of third grade. No, this is not ham I am. Even though I love spam, I don't care what anybody thinks. I love my spam. My mom would give me a look when I would order my spam musubis. I heard people say with great disdain, "Oh God, spam." But they never had spam musubis or grew up in the MPK. For me, spam musubis is filled with love, summer, baseball, shaved ice, hot sauce, girls of my youth, my first crew, my first lay, hot box, peach schnapps, Hawaiian iced tea, pineapple bongs, dusty old books, Shaka Steve, free spam musubis when I was a Dharma bum. So I don't care. I love my spam and eggs, but this not about ham I am, even though I love my spam. This is about spam. Goddamn Russian bots, automatic pieces of shit, the biology of disinformation. The hellhole is a tweet. The annoying as fuck random advertisement of God knows what. Like how pathetic, unathletic, beta cuck white males worship black athletes is even a thing. What does this even mean? Or do I really need to watch a chicken stuck to a dog's butt? Or do I really need to read You Never Guess What Celebrity This Is? Or strange late night erotic emails from Vanessa E.J. I never forgave you for the one night stand. Oh God, what have we become? The spontaneous, unsought, undesired, uncalled for rise of weaponized AI propaganda machine keeps on rolling on. Someone must be clicking all this random clickbait, beta messages, bottom bot masturbation. I wonder why the digital gods have forsaken me for my love of spam. Because I hear spam and I go, my ode to spam.
Nice.
Bravo.
Sorry, dude, I missed half of it. My son was freaking. He woke up, but
Same.
from what I heard,
Same.
man, from what I heard, it was a lot of energy. Good stuff, man.
Yeah, it's like surfing, the contemporary surfing situation. Why do I need to know this? What does this mean? Yeah, I definitely relate. That's for sure.
I mean, earlier we were. This is kind of a older one that I wrote like a couple months ago, but it goes back to what we were saying kind of before about how we have like this random internal dialogue of like all this kind of stuff like competing, and so I forgot what like triggered this. I think it was just like this little meme character of the old like advertisement of spam. And it was like this Sir Spam-A-Lot is like a little knight, and I was just like playing with that image, and I would like keep like sending it instead of like writing a comment. I would just like send it, and then I was like, dude, I haven't had a spam musubi in a long time. Like back in the day, my friend used to work at a Hawaiian restaurant, and we would get free. We called him Shaka Steve, and we would get free. We'll get all high, and we'll go to Shaka's, and we'll get free spam musubis, and we'll just like sit there all stoned. And so like my memory talking about like smells and senses and stuff is anchored into like me growing up and me doing like all this kind of like crazy stuff and then like that's why I like spam, and like me and my crew, we used to like get high and eat spam musubis all the time. and then like now like in me being kind of more immersed in social media, like getting spammed on my email, and I'm like just like looking at headlines and be like, what the fuck is all this bullshit? Like, I don't need this. I like, why is this a thing? Like, who the fuck is reading all this stuff? But obviously someone is reading all this shit, or else they wouldn't be like posting all this shit, or else I wouldn't be getting emails about this or that, or like, you know, all these advertisements. And so that's like why I did this.
I love it. It makes it. I love it even more with the background details. I just went over reading it again because I missed half of it, and yeah, I do. I like the way you kind of bring those two thoughts together, and it makes it even more like vivid for you, and it shows through the writing style. So that was really cool. I also like the nursery rhyme, like Dr. Seuss, go, you know, path. That's pretty cool. That's pretty creative. Good stuff. Anybody else got some stuff?
Yeah, we need boobs. We need boobs here. I want to upload a picture of his boobs.
Well, I'm hungry now, so.
Oh dear.
Boobs. We need boobs here.
Yeah, I got a poem, but it's like 4 pages long.
Was that you, Scott?
4 pages long.
Oh man,
Oh, man.
yo, you hot today, dude. You hot. That's some good shit, man. What you got there? Token.
Yeah.
So who's that? Scott? Who had some?
No, that'd be me.
Oh, that's you. Okay.
Read it.
Let's go
What
for
page
it.
is that?
But I'll smoke with you.
Drop it.
I've never read before
Oh,
to anyone. All right.
Wow.
So,
it's the perfect time, dude.
well, give me some mental prep, huh? Right? All
Word up.
right. All righty then.
All right,
So,
guys.
no, you know what? I promised you. So I've got to do it while you're here. That's right. Well, how would you guys like to go somewhere completely different?
Hell yeah. That's why we're on Minds, right? Let's go.
All right. All right. So I named mine Kanaz after the room. It's called Torchfire. So let's do this. It was a cruel and brutal hour under starlit skies sublime. I'd contemplated everything of reason, faith, and time. When at first I met that voice which cut through heart and mind. My dear, why do you walk alone with troubles of this kind? Startled humble by the question, I tried to answer true. I knew it came from deep within, and I knew what I must do. The way is dark, I answered, and trust is running low. Teach me, O thou inner voice, what it is that I should know. The image shimmering answered as it began to glow. With humor I could hear her say, voice coming soft and slow. Your heart is true, but incomplete. You need your light to grow. This is not the place of gods. I cannot say what is the way, for fear to break your odds. You have the strength it takes inside, but I can bring it forth. I'll tell you what to do, my friend. In silence is your test. Listen to me closely, dear. Put away your every fear, and let your feelings rest. Only then will what is deep within burst out of heart. Kanaz reveals nature's law. She is the torch you seek. I'll send her forth by ancient means. Be patient, you will meet. And then she fast departed. I retired then to bed, and dreamed of eras past, and followed where they led. Another night passed on ahead, filled with harsh and undue dread. I availed myself of silence, and remembered what she said, that patience would bring forth my guide, and peace in my own head. And so I thought a passive state is what I must achieve, by fasting silence, wind and fire, beneath both roof and tree. At first I thought that sitting there would surely be enough, and one night passed, much now improved, but nothing had showed up. On the second, an epiphany finally came into the rough. If a friend is what I seek, should I offer something up? So then I prepared a sacrifice, an ancient gesture, true. The milk and mead were left to seed, while food I did eschew. I'd read in ancient fairy tales this offering of dew was fit for fairy folks and gods, who would take this thing in lieu of greater sacrifice to come in all that I must do. And on the third night absent from the world I knew before, I realized I'd not thought to ask, or even here had put to task, the fire I'd longed for. So raising hand and face, I offered ancient prayer. I'd read it once, this was the way, they'd offered it back there. I echoed back the sentiment I'd heard in darkest hour. Kanaz promised friend, I need your guiding light. Upon my altar all is set, my heart is open as my door into the boundless night. Won't you dine me tonight? Tell me, did I say that right? To my shock and faltering faith, I saw a flash of light. Straight through my open door, a blaze of orange and white passed in and out of sight. I hesitated briefly, before, just to my right, a voice like water in my ear whispered sweetly, I am here. I jumped 2 feet at that, and when my heart returned, I looked down and turned my eyes. It seemed my senses hadn't lied. A fox had here appeared inside. Quietly and startled still, I stared and asked with caution, Are you the torch I sook, or is this a pet adoption? And so the fox with gentle eyes and chuckling to herself, and with ever softening look, simply nodded, and with pointed paw addressed me to a book. You used the proper words, I see, to summon me. You asked my help and offered me a victual fit for gods. I said, I did, and here you are. I hope it wasn't wrong. And then she answered merrily, My darling, we'll get on. And in that very moment, my fear was finally gone.
That's good, man. Wow. Good stuff.
Yeah, nice.
That was beautiful.
Very nice.
Dude, I want to cuddle with you right now, man. That was awesome.
Okay, so we've got cuddling and nice. That's good. Good perception.
It was like a kind of a epic like wisdom poem that like kind of like a little nursery rhyme-ish too. I think that's probably what invoked the cuddling.
Right, yeah, like
Yes,
calming.
Apparently, nursery rhymes invoke cuddling for some people.
Yeah,
No, it
Yeah.
invokes a lot. It's honestly, you
it's
have.
been breastfed.
Can you post it so I can read it again?
Yeah, sure, I'll try. That's a lot. Let's see. Let's see how much.
Man, you got such a great reading voice.
I try.
That's true, actually.
You
I'm
really
quite
do.
jealous. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Believe it or not, you're not the first to tell me that. Here we go.
Yeah, for that to be your first time, performing, you should definitely do it more often. I mean, it's very natural.
All right, so let's see. That killed it. So what paragraph was that? Third night passed on the head. All right.
So can you explain like the whole concept, like the Kenaz thing?
Kanaz is torch fire. It's also known as Polaris, thus my name. Well, do you want what the poem is describing, or do you want to? Well, that's an interesting question.
Yeah, I guess in a sense, because it's
Well, Kanaz is a rune, and a rune is far more than a symbol. It's an entire piece of a massive magical system. So the rune Kanaz it encompasses more than the poem encompasses. So
It really does, because like runes are like their own novels in themselves. You know,
they really are.
I have a set, and it's amazing. And there's times when like I've allowed someone to handle my runes, and like their response has been different even than my response. Like it's really.
Oh yeah, it completely changes depending on the person. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where we are. Okay, I'm trying to get it all on there.
Wow, now that definitely gives a little bit of an explanation of, the impact in a sense. So that's pretty dope, man. That's cool.
And your alliteration is beautiful.
Oh,
Oh,
forget
thank
about
you.
it. Good stuff. Definitely perform more indeed. I read a lot of your short ones that you post on, the page. So it's very, very you're very consistent in your delivery and like, how you're always delivering that real pure like wisdom and poetry. It's cool, man.
Well, that's because I write every poem as if it's my last.
Amazing.
That's a good idea. I like that.
Yeah,
I do that.
I love that. That's great.
It's just my
Knowing
personal
others may be
philosophy.
another.
There might not
Sounded
be another.
poetic.
See, but mine will always keep coming. I could be dead, they still be coming.
Well, and technically speaking, when you do write in the present moment, it is the last one that you've done. So that's very true.
Yeah, you're just honing that energy because a lot of times we may be in the present moment but not present mentally, in the senses category.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're just on autopilot in a sense. So, that's awesome. To be able to have something so extensive that long too is and consistently like follow through with the the style, the format is pretty cool. Like that's pretty tough.
Yeah, it also got me thinking that there's at some point in all our lives we will have written our last poem.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Well, I mean, hopefully that means that someone will come along and continue writing on the feeling of your poem.
Mm.
Or sharing that vibration. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I mean, same thing. Same thing.
Right. Because that's all we are, So now that's another crazy concept too.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
I've been up
cosmic deep.
since I've been awake since way too early this morning. And I kind of want to go to bed. So I'm going to read this poem that Paw Patrol asked me to read, even though he's a butt. It's, what was her name? Did he go away?
Come again? What? What's up?
Do you remember? Oh, not you. PA, do you know who this is? It's like
Oh yeah, Zariah.
Right. So he
Right.
poem. I don't know if you've read it.
If it's recent, I probably have, but yeah, please share that. She's awesome.
Yeah. So I wish she'd come on tonight, but I guess
Yeah, we got to get her to come on. Yeah.
time zones and whatnot. So we gotta like troll the shit out of that and get her over here. All right. So the name of the poem is "The River to a Child." Scenes flash of happy children, of river and kind faces. The world was a refuge. Memory of city lights and running people, of shallow laughter, dagger eyes. The world is a battlefield. Love is classic, like a palette. The paint dried, the image was destroyed. Alone is freedom. Freedom is eternity. Silence nourish a seeking soul. Childhood is a memory, always a refuge. The rivers don't flow anymore, but old kind faces with smile endured. Life is beautiful, made perfect by battlefields. Scenes flash again, not of rivers, but mountain breeze. The breeze is a kiss sent by the river for the child that never forgets.
Wow. Beautiful.
It's a pity they couldn't be here.
Oh God, for real, right? I mean, Rose, you delivered it so well. Like you
I know,
put me
wouldn't
in
it
a
be great
trance.
to hear her own, feel to it? Like I put my feel to it. Man, I would
Get up for that. Thank you. Ha.
Don't you troll our page though.
Hey, I like how you said that. I'm tired. I gotta go to bed. Anyway, I'm gonna read this thing, but even though Paw Patrol is in bed, Did you catch that at the beginning? Oh, well, that's what you said.
Oh,
Anyway, but I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, guys.
right.
I'm going to bed.
See, because Papa called. Yeah, that was beautiful. Thank you.
Sure, no.
Oh, that was great, Rose. Thanks a lot, man. That was
Yeah.
thank you for presenting that to us. That was her writing is really great, and yeah, like Polaris said, it would have been also great to have her deliver that. But thank you.
Yeah, hopefully, if we can at least get the audio separated for it, maybe we can tag her and encourage her to show up and read her poetry, because, it's not delivered the same if it's not the author,
Right.
Well, also the cadence. My God, she has to have been reading it out loud in order to write like that. I would know.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, I write with a rhythm without ever speaking it out loud. And sometimes you just have it, like you have a natural beat to your, it's that heartbeat of the universe, Satori.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it felt like the breeze. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like I was outside, like just feeling the dance of the words in the sense of like,
Yeah, what up, Muse?
just matter.
Hey guys.
Oh, Muse, what's up?
Oh, hey.
Oh, good, we got a female to replace the female.
Yes. Muse.
All right, I'm headed to bed. Good night, you guys.
All right, Rose. Easy. Till next
Farewell.
time.
Night.
Nice. So who's gonna follow up to that? Muse. Good to see you back, Muse. By the way.
Thank you.
been-
It's good to be
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. I know you were on like a trip or something like that.
Yeah, I was in Europe from the 19th to the 27th. And
Cool.
I wish I was still there.
Awesome. That's good to hear. You sound like you really needed it, and I'm glad to hear that you definitely enjoyed it. So
Yeah,
That's great.
absolutely.
sweet. So I'm pretty sure you have something for us, and I know Andurant probably, or if anyone else has. I mean, let's keep it going.
I wish I had written down which ones I read last time. Because I'm sitting here fearful that I might actually try to read another one all over again.
You read Walker, Speechless,
Yeah.
and Alice D. Blues.
Awesome.
Oh, good. Okay, I have one if you want it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You want me to do it now? Okay.
Go right for it.
This one is a pretty special one. So hopefully I can do this justice.
Oh, can you put it on the right as well?
Yes, I will.
Please, thanks.
Just in case I flub it up. It's called No Greater Love. And this was written, inspired by, and dedicated to the Supreme High Empress. See, I am king of my castle, high emperor of my domain, but the missus is the Supreme High Empress, and she outranks me. So,
That was great.
all right, let's see if I can do this one and keep a decent volume on the mic this time. No Greater Love. I was there on the day when my beloved became more than just an object of lust, became more than the appeal of her flesh. The woman, assaulted by Atropos, showed me, with style, what a real woman was. I was there when Serenity screamed as the issue of water exploded from her groin, as the hot crimson blood splashed at her thigh. The doctor fell silent to his task, sweat from his brow. collapsed on her knee. I was there when courage cowered from the heavy, pregnant silence of the nurse, from the awful awareness of death and disease. The child, caught in a slick, silent scream, bundled in the bowels of a robot and whisked away. I was there when determination dared to rip the tubes and wires from the corpse of a child, to pull away the electronic essence and soul from her mouth. The senses chirped gaily in response to her rage. A viewer displayed the digital dance of death. I was there when Beauty balked at the perfect plastine prison that housed the child, at the sickly stare from the frail form of her daughter. The woman rubbed long trails of mascara down her cheek and trembled tears of terror that only I could hear. I was there when Perseverance prayed for the chance to exchange her life for another, for the chance her child would live and recover. The hospital now is her church and her temple as she fell to her knees near the altar of pain. I was there when grace granted a sickly child with the gift of strength, a broken family with the hope of joy. The woman stood in the holy halls of heroin and suckled the child with the milk of a mother's love. The child recovered. The woman didn't have to. And me, I fell in love all over again.
Wow. Amazing.
That was incredible. I'm so moved.
It's a tough read.
Yeah, I could hear it, man. Wow. It definitely wow.
And by the way, if you ever get bored, this is the child. You can stop and say hi. She hates me every time I do that. Which is why I do it.
It was interesting earlier when Polaris was talking about writing like it's your last poem. It seems like that's where like this like comes from, and it's interesting. I love the I was there, and like anchoring the emotion and the power of like, you know, this whole poem seems like this whole lifetime of love.
Exactly. And the pain of it as well.
Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword, but that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's so true. Wow.
The backstory to that, I gave the name of the girl, the child. That's my daughter. She's on Minds too. She was my second child to go through this. I lost one a long time ago, about 34 years ago. She was born with pneumonia, lungs full of fluid. She drowned on the way to the hospital in the ambulance. And this one was born with the exact same condition, but we were lucky enough to be able to get treatment for her a lot quicker. And I think a little bit of grace of God in there as well. And she survived. And basically the poem is a recounting of that story.
Wow, thank you for sharing it. It was powerful.
I love the emphasis on those specific words like beauty, perseverance, grace. Like it's almost like they, you had to capitalize those to make them separate from the rest because of the fact that in those few words you were able to just kind of summarize what this, what this child means to you.
Well, thank you. That was the intention. And if you're going to deal with something that's that painful, but you come out of it growing and stronger and learning from it, it was important to me when I wrote it to key those points. All right, next time I'll do a cheerful one.
No, that was good. I'm just keen in on to you could read those capitalized words as like the timeline of the whole emotional journey, Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and every stanza is like its own little, poem. Like it could be its own standalone, which is like really impressive.
Well, thank you.
It was real.
I tend not to write unless something inspires me of a similar vein, not negative, but powerful, something that stops you in your track and makes you change your path a little bit. And I've been accused of doing too many romance poems, so this one was kind of different. I was anxious to do it. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good philosophy to live by. Because sometimes you get lost in trying to find the moment, and you just let that dynamic moment really just come. And they normally do.
One of my children once told me that, in their opinion, the best poems are the ones that the author at first doesn't want to write.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yep.
Your best poems are the ones where you break out of your comfort zone.
Oof. Yeah. I love that.
I agree.
I love that.
It's interesting, kind of like tying everything together that we've been talking about. But so recently someone was saying about how they were writing a collection of poems, and I was like, oh, I've been thinking about that too. And I have like this one poem that I wrote a long time ago, but it was like, I guess like my first poem, and it comes from that same place of and I don't really share it, and I've been wrestling with this feeling because like I still want to keep it for like myself. Like there's like this it's still kind of like raw, and I don't know, I just like that poem is for me, but more and more I'm getting like these echoes from people and life to maybe it's time to like put it out there and see what happens. But yeah,
I agree. Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah. And I was there's a line in what Polaris wrote in his poem that talks about let me see if I can get it real quick. Oh, your heart is true but incomplete. You need your light to grow. And I think this is where like all poems that have that passion and that power, it comes from a true place, but also an incomplete place. And I think this is what I think that line really puts that condenses where that power comes from.
Well, thank you.
Next week, Dirty Limericks. No, I'm just kidding.
Why not?
Yeah. It's actually funny. The poem that I read tonight was actually because of Van Durant. He was saying about how kind of a more hilarious one, and so I went, and then I was like, oh, I'll share my ode to spam. as it's different than what I normally do. And then now you got me right into like the deep dark night of the soul, and now I'm left echoing in the darkness. But anybody else? Anybody has something to follow that up with?
No, but I'm looking forward to doing comedy next week.
Yeah.
First I did drama. Now you're asking for comedy, and that's my scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could use some comedy relief.
Then I shall bring.
I'm looking for the spam one. Haven't found it.
Yeah, he posted it.
That made me chuckle more than a few times.
I'm an old Monty Python fan. Yeah, so you say spam and I'm interested.
I actually wouldn't mind reading the one I posted, the last poem I posted, along with that like really long narrative.
Yeah.
From a couple weeks ago. Because I literally have not looked at it since then, since I wrote it. Let me just post it real quick.
Awesome.
Okay. When I dug my feet into the dirt, you'd be my sudden storm one moment, then my tickling earthworm the next. When I leaned my back against the bark, you were the rogue gypsy moth first, then the tinfoil belted around the trunk to stop it in its tracks. When I stared almost directly into the sun, you were the new leaves of summer shading what's left of my peripherals. You never knew these woods the way I do, granular and whole, calm and enraging. Here on my own, I can and will get my life together. Find my smile as your message read. But you're no longer my sleep once I close my eyes. You're no longer my laughter when someone teases me, or my rocks when someone wrongs me. You're not at the store buying me tampons and ice cream. You're not coming over to be my vitamins and Prozac. So for now, I'll close my eyes anyway and wait for when the leaves wither and fall once again.
I like that. That was very nice.
I remember reading that one. Yes. I'm so glad you performed it.
Thank you. And yeah, I mean, some of you read the backstory to it, and it's just, I don't know, it's something that I've been battling with for a while. After I discovered my mother passed away a year and a half ago of pancreatic cancer, and I discovered just like not even a couple weeks ago that she was actually a pretty prolific poet, and she wrote a lot. I mean, I knew that she wrote here and there, and and she occasionally she'll share a poem, once on a blue moon, but it obviously was something that she didn't want or feel comfortable with sharing with me, knowing that poetry was such a big part of my life. And I feel like that could have been a bond, like that could have been such a huge thing that we could have shared together that I didn't even know about. And now that's gone. I don't have that opportunity now. And in general, only just approaching 40, and my mom was 63 when she passed, 2017. I'm angry and regretful, of course, but I don't know. It's hard to explain, but yeah, I feel like I was punishing myself for a little bit, just not writing, and I haven't written a thing since I wrote this, and that's unusual for me. I mean, at least I spew something out at least once daily, and I haven't been doing that. So it was good to get it out in the open.
Yeah,
No, it's great.
Mm.
Yeah, I
But-
think it's go for it.
But yeah, but like in an odd way, you're still. I think we're in a meta way. We're all connected through these expressions and through the word and through our feelings. So, but even more directly with your writing, even unknowingly, you were connected to your mom in that way, and your mom was connected to you in that way. And it's kind of, I think we all have this strange paradox of life, of how it seems at the time the ones that we love the most and the ones that we really want to share the most with is the ones that it's the hardest, and those are the ones that we fill the chasm with, and because we care, and it's just a mixture. And kind of going back to Andorant's thing about the whole range of emotion of life, how he condensed that into that poem. There's a through line through that. Even when I met in Polaris is about the heart, but it's incomplete, and that we're still trying to grow that light, that those expressions to connect us all together. And I mean, I constantly see these threads even more so now when I edit people's poems and really engage with people's words and even how they read it, and even how everybody's posting. Yeah, it really starts to come through, and I think this is something that's even for me, as much as I try to like engage in it every day, it's hard. Even for myself, I haven't been writing that much recently, but I'm glad that we have a place where we could kind of express our confusion with each other. I think sometimes it's so important to just like be felt by each other, and even if we, in our own complexity of all the range of emotions.
True, absolutely. And I think I kind of like use my poetry and use my writing to kind of, I don't want to say isolate, but I guess, to maintain some sort of, facet of my life that's just solely mine. Because I also wrote about in a previous post how within my circle of family and friends, like I'm literally the only writer. I'm really the only poet, and I just don't have that in-person, connection. Any connection I have to poetry is with you guys, other online groups and things like that. But then I feel like I'm kicking myself then, knowing what I know now, and then there's nothing I can do to change that. That could have been something, like a legacy, being passed down, right?
Yeah.
Anything like that.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's great to have an outlet like this. It really is. It's also really great to hear like the background. That's one of the layers that we don't get in like the everyday world, but we could come here and kind of slow it down a little bit and actually like get some of the background. Because when you give the background, like especially with this, and I've been following it, and to read it like from like a different layered, presentation, it's even more of a nice package.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else got something to present?
Getting heavy. I guess I'll read something that I've been thinking about. I've done a video on this, but I kind of like this one, and I guess I'll just read it real quick. It's called "Together in Emptiness." This poem is for all the dreamers, lovers, lost souls who have lost someone, everything, and nothing in between. Who found someone that made everything all right, and for the first time they had someone that made this emptiness that engulfs all life okay. I don't know what it is about you, but I can't seem to get you out of my mind. Visions of you haunt me for some reason. You want to hear something, another deep, dark secret? There's an emptiness, a deep emptiness inside. It's bittersweet, something sublime. We all know it, even if we choose not to believe it. Maybe belief is a bad word. Feel it? Pay attention to it? Run around year after year chasing this something? Anything to fill up this bottomless pit of nothingness? But the strange thing about this emptiness, it's universal. It's eternity. It's the void. It's a dark hole at the center of our galaxy. It's pushing and pulling all this into being. Maybe it's just this night. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's me. But lately, this something mysterious has been unlocking deep inside my soul. I've been having these strange feelings, visions, and suspicions. Maybe a mixture of a lot of things. I know it's partly the show. It's partly I don't know. It's mine. It's my own mind. God, I wish I had more time. I wish that you and I weren't so spread across space and time. But for now, long walks on the digital beach will have to do. Do you care to play out our wildest dreams so that we can manifest matter into reality? What are your dreams, your thoughts, your visions? Please tell me your deep, dark secrets. Can we get so deep without going skin deep? I don't got the answers on this wonderfully strange night. I just got silly words and cosmic giggles. It's okay, you don't got to tell me anything. We could just be silly and laugh at eternity, chase each other across the digital landscape. At least we share the same starry night, the moon, and infinity. For now, this will have to do.
Good stuff. Nice.
Magical, even.
Yes.
Thanks. It kind of just what we were saying about having someone to share kind of like confusion with is something, indeed magical.
I like that quite a bit.
Yeah, no, the energy, that a lot of us share here, like we all kind of have some of the deep questions, some of the, dense articulations. That's, why we come here and we write. And, it's been great reading your stuff because you always have this like shamanistic, like extrapolation, like you have this delivery of like wisdom also. So it's always cool just following your work in general and continuing to hear the consistency. So good stuff.
Anytime anyone can see the connections, I think that's a wonderful thing.
Yes, there it is.
I love that mixture of like, the separation and the chasm and the connectivity, because it really is like, even though it's through, a screen or a phone or, it's, there's still, a really, I'm trying to find words. There's still a, it's almost as potent as, real life, like face-to-face connection. I mean, I know a lot of people, and I teach this to my kids a lot too. We talk about it, how it seems like our connectivity in our cyber world has disconnected us in a way. But there's a lot, I'm on the fence with that. I feel like it does do more for us as far as connection than disconnection, just because you don't see somebody face to face.
Yeah, totally.
That's a good point, actually. I'm a citizen of a virtual world called Second Life, by the way. And I met some real fascinating people. One of my best friends is an artist, a professional artist out of New Zealand, for God's sake. I never would have met this person if it wasn't for that sort of connection.
Yeah, that's true.
I could pass him on the street and we wouldn't even look at each other, but now we're close friends, and I'm hoping one day they come to New Haven. Meet him in real life.
Yeah.
Well, where something is lost, something is always gained. I've thought a lot about that actually over the years, about how technology plays with all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
It's a double-edged sword, like I said before. I mean, it's great. I got to meet people and share thoughts and become friends with them. You know, almost avatarless, if you think about it. You know, the inner person, not the outer. But on the other hand, it also allows for a mask of deception that you got to be aware of.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the duality in life. You know, it's always going to be there. That's just the application of everything. You know, so
yeah.
It's,
the mask has some moral dualism, though, too, because I believe that mask allows for people, particularly those who do suffer from social anxiety in reality, to have an opportunity to speak that maybe they wouldn't have had anyway.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
I kind of go back to my earliest interactions on the internet. I had to be in junior high, and I remember getting on like AOL and then talking to some of my classmates. And it was looking back, it's such a weird experience of like how we would talk to each other in instant message was a lot more deeper and real than when we would engage face to face in the school setting. You know, we're all like nervous. We didn't know like what to say. But then online, we would be talking about our lives and this and that. And then I remember it's kind of like we had like these dual lives, and I think we all have dual lives, and kind of go back to what Polaris says. And this is something that I think I re-experienced coming onto Minds in the early days of Minds, of putting on my Satori mask and doing, and it kind of goes back to like this whole thing, like early on in Minds, there was like, it was this like primordial soup of possibilities. And I just, one day, someone posted something and they were like shitting on them. And I just thought, you know what? Fuck this. I could be totally different. And I'm choosing to be totally different. And I don't care what anybody else does on this site, but I'm choosing to be different. I'm choosing to use this channel differently. I'm choosing to explore things and express things ruthlessly and just pursue this stuff that I want to project out, that I want to dance with, that I want to play with. And it doesn't matter if no one gets it. It doesn't matter. This is just what I want to do. And then little by little, I got my tribe of forgotten toys. And then we started creating a little bit of magic.
You know, that's a wonderful way to describe the internet. It is the Isle of Misfit Toys.
Yeah.
Well, I used to be a gamer. I quit quite some time ago, actually. And I had some of those fantastic conversations with people over Discord over the years. Things they would never share with anyone else. They would, I don't know, maybe it's just my personality. But it's just incredible. You know, these are conversations you would never be able to have in real life. So as I said before, I mean, I think as far as the technology is concerned, the net benefit has been for those who were anxious, for those who were housebound, and for those situations that might have otherwise blocked the conversations that needed to happen.
Right. Good stuff. Yeah.
If I may, I gotta share a story. What you just said. Speaking of the Second Life, remember that artist friend of mine from New Zealand? I went to one of her exhibits in Second Life. She had all her art displayed all around this virtual room. And it was a big deal. There was like 200 people there, which is tough in Second Life, to be honest. And as soon as I got there, I noticed one person who had a avatar of a young teenage boy. And he was like jumping around, punching people, flying over their heads in the middle of her readings and her talk about her paintings and stuff. And I was getting really annoyed. To be honest, it bothered me. He was distracting the attention from what she was presenting, and he would just bounce off the ceilings and virtually slap people and call them names and laugh at them. And finally, I couldn't take it no more, so I instant messaged the artist, and I says, he's ruining your presentation. Can't you stop this guy? And she came back and she said, don't you dare say a word to him. I will never talk to you ever again. If you do, you let him be. And I was like confused because he was totally disrupting what she's trying to do. And she's selling these things for virtual currency. It's a big deal. So afterwards, when it was over, I got together with again. I said, can you explain why you said not to bother this guy? And she says, absolutely. She says, he's a 28-year-old veteran who's now a quadriplegic. He uses special equipment to control his avatar and his keyboard in Second Life. And in real life, he's stuck in a bed. But Second Life gave him the option to jump around and laugh and punch people. And that's what he did. And everyone there but me knew about this. And I had to back off. It was a pretty interesting experience. It's probably an extreme one too, but what you said reminded me of that.
Well, no. I think we're actually seeing a Second Life in I think the realm of VR chat. That's actually just come on my radar, which is surprising given the crowds I roll with. But yeah, that VR chat thing looks like it's going to be huge too. I think Minecraft was in its time, but I think that's kind of died down too.
A few years from now, we'll have augmented reality, and we can all meet in Mac's living room to have these poetry.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that because I actually have a theory of technology on that, which is all of the negative effects of technology are going to be erased by augmented and virtual reality. Because when you bring the physical back into the scenario, there is a human element that will be reintroduced, and I think people will be more respectful to each other again. It's just a thought.
It's an interesting thought. At some value it would come across as some like transhumanist, type thing. But in a sense, it's just a thought. It's like the Black Mirror show, where you have to really think out, different scenarios, especially in a world so fucking limited as this one. But yeah.
This kind of goes back to the last week when me and Rose did our thing. I mentioned this thing about switching the figure and the ground and how the context of you learning about that guy totally changed how you saw it, and and I think part of what I like to do, and especially more recently what I do with some of my writing and even with my videos, is to hopefully kind of change the figure and the ground. Like I'm all for. I mean, I don't care what really anybody does on the internet, but as for me, and I like when I see ripples, like I see Khalik Slim messing around with videos and Future Humans messing around with audio and people messing around with visuals, and it's just like, yeah, like we're living in the future, and we can do whatever we want to do. Embrace it.
Well, maybe not whatever we want.
Whatever we want to do, yeah. But I mean, if it's ground, I mean, maybe going back to what Pauletta said, I think this is where it's so fascinating about the poem. If it's grounded in the heart and in our the deepest part of our being, I think then everything unfolds as it should, in a sense, in a very Jawa sense, I guess. Yeah. Just my creeping suspicion about things. Anybody have a poem so we could kind of wrap things up? Anybody got something they want to share?
Oh, well, I'll throw another one out there.
Okay.
This one I actually haven't put in my collection either. I was just scrounging around on my computer and I found it and I remembered it. On a different vein, this is called Addicting Whispers. Some might think this a tad risque. We'll find out. Addicting Whispers. I listened to her whispers once, confused yet tempted by her call, surprised to find I wanted more. I listened to her whispers twice, feeling weak and oh so small, succumbing to her sweet rapport. Oh, I listened to her whispers thrice, yearning for her southern drawl. I ripped in rage the clothes I wore. I listened to her whispers four, now tempted to surrender all, forsaking all I knew before. I listened to her whispers five, in her presence now I fall, enslaved to whom I now adore, collapsed and broken on the floor.
Yeah, I like the
Scary.
I like the performance. Yeah, the performance is nice.
And that was not Second Life inspired. Thank you very much. We stay away from those places. Thank you.
Oh man.
Can't be any worse than a furry RP server I stumbled into once.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I just looked around. I'm like, oh God.
Who left a pile of coats on the floor? Oh, I'm sorry. That's the audience.
No, that's the performance. There's nothing like awkward silence. It just sort of hangs in the air.
Someone's got to read one more. I don't want to finish the last.
Matt, did you have a poem? I think he's not even by the computer. How about?
Let's pick on someone who hasn't read.
Anybody new that came into the room? Actually, there's someone actually just messaged me not too long ago, and that she came into the room. Porter's Kingdom. I just want to say hello.
Kingdom. Indeed.
Hey, hello.
Greetings.
Well, thanks for stopping by.
Read something, Porter's Kingdom.
Yeah, put her on the spot. Okay, maybe she's having mic problems, but also to anybody. Oh yeah,
We apologize for any technical difficulties that may occur during the course of the. Sorry.
we do need disclaimers. Oh man,
I could do that. God, I wish people would pay me for something like that. That'd be awesome.
You seriously should consider voiceover work.
yeah, man.
You can make a killing on
I know a guy.
That's why I like the videos you guys have been doing online. I've been tempted to make one myself, but I gotta find a good subject matter and the time.
Yeah, you should definitely do it. It's fun.
Same here.
I-
I've been really interested in like trying to figure out how to do that kind of stuff, but I don't know. I feel like I'm so tech challenged. If it is, if it's not relating to education.
I'm just split between too many modes.
Yeah. The program that I use is called Lightworks, and it's a free open source software for the basic, and it's pretty easy to use. Of course, everything now has a YouTube tutorial. Just throw one of those on.
That is true. That is true.
And you learn the basics within, like I would say, like 10 minutes. But after that, it's just a matter of developing your own feel for what you want to express. I mean, that comes later, I think. I remember my first ones were very rudimentary, of just like overlapping music and visuals. But I guess I'll end things with a poem that I wrote recently. It kind of connects to what Muse with Scissors was saying. Like there was a week or two that I was not writing, and I was a little bit out of it. But then I came and I wrote this really short one, and I'll share it. I'll post it on the side right now. It's called Words on the Page, and I think it's a good way to end everything, and then we could also discuss it a little bit. Death, ink to the paper. What will come will be undone. Life, words on a page. What is said will never be. Time, grind of the wheel. Know why within now. And what's interesting too about this poem, it has a pipe. If anybody remembers when Break a Node, and supposedly in the pipe you're supposed to oscillate it. So I'll oscillate it back. Time, grind of the wheel. Know why within now. Death, ink to the paper. What will come will be undone. Life, words on the page. What is said will never be.
That's a hell of a way to close. I like it.
Yes. Very nice.
And this one comes from a lot of my new poetry comes from a response to Rose. She, during the time when I was kind of like being MIA, she kept on like ranting and raving to me, and I wasn't like responding. And then I'm like, what's funny? It's like I haven't wrote anything, and I just kind of like start describing what I'm doing. I'm like, okay, ink to the paper. And I'm just like feeling like, oh, I don't feel like doing anything. Like, what's the point? All of this will become undone. I'm like, okay, that's where we start.
Those grapes were sour anyway.
Yeah. Yep. That's where it came from. But yeah, thanks for everybody coming in.
Nice
We'll
to
do it again.
Thanks.
We'll do it again next week.
Good to be here.
Oh, yeah.
Take
But
care, everyone.
yeah,
I'll try to come earlier next week, even though I say that every week.
And everybody write something this week.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
All
Let's
right,
try
we're
to-
doing something funny next week. Is that the general?
Yeah, let's
general
do
theme?
so. Let's do something funny. Yeah.
Why
Let's,
not?
Poetry's
play with
hard.
words.
If enough of us agree, Mac will have to go along with us.
Yeah. Just hijack the open mic.
Take care, everyone.
Okay.
Farewell.
Good night, everyone. Thanks.
All right. Good night, guys.
So long.